Hey, what is up guys, and welcome back to my channel. And for today's video I'm going to talk about Etsy, which is an e-commerce platform. We're going to go a little bit through the fundamentals of the company. We're going to take a look at the revenue, how many active sellers and buyers the company has right now. It is a good investment for me, or what do I think about the company in general. But before we get into that content, if you like the video, hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. You're going to help me a lot by doing that. And also, if you have comments about the video, leave that comment in the comment section below. So like I said, Etsy is an e-commerce website like Amazon, eBay or Shopify. But why would I think of going to Etsy's platform to buy items? Well, basically one of the reasons why people would decide purchasing items Etsy's over Amazon's, for example, is due to the fact that Etsy offers a lot of unique items that you can only find in the platform. And I'm talking about handmade items, and items that actually can be tailored to suit the needs of the buyers. Those kind of things you cannot find it on Amazon, for example, or eBay or even Shopify. So you would be thinking that Amazon or one of these three e-commerce platforms can copy the same business model. And actually Amazon did this back in 2015. They created Amazon Handmade, but actually didn't have the results they were expecting out of this idea. And also it didn't represent a big threat for Etsy's businesses. So Etsy's growth has been tremendous. We can see here that the six biggest categories of the platform has been going up consistently over time, and categories like homewares and home furnishing, accessories, craft supplies and stuff like that has been going up consistently over time, which is something good for a platform like Etsy's. But how big is Etsy? Well, actually Etsy is pretty big in terms of active sellers. If we consider an active seller to be one person that actually creates an account in the platform and lists a lot of items to be sold on the platform as well, they have approximately 3.1 million active sellers as of the second quarter of 2020. From 2012 to 2020, the number of active sellers has been growing up consistently over time, which is something that I really like a lot, because it is going to help me to make projections in the future in terms of active sellers on the company. But how big is this number? This number is actually big, or is it low? Well, if we compare this number with that of Amazon's, we can see that back in 2019, in November, Amazon had 3 million active sellers. So 1 year later, for sure, they have even more active sellers. But this gives us an idea of how big is having 3.1 million sellers, active sellers in a e-commerce platform. Being Amazon the biggest e-commerce website, and Etsy having basically almost the same amount of active sellers in the platform, sells a lot about this e-commerce platform. We can see also that they have a lot of active buyers. From 2012 to 2019, the number of buyers is been incrementing as well. Consistently, we can appreciate a clear upward trend. Again, this is going to help me to make projections in the future in terms of active buyers. So one of the reasons why the number of active sellers and buyers has been incrementing, especially this year 2020, is because of the situation that it's been affecting the entire world. Like I said at the beginning of the video, Etsy specializes in the sellers that are creating items by themselves, handmade items. So people that were looking for face masks went to Etsy to get some of these masks. A lot of people, a lot of buyers, a lot of sellers were selling their products in this platform, and actually Etsy reported that they sold over $346 million in masks during the second quarter of the year. So we might be thinking that once this whole situation goes away, the demand of masks is going to go down, and actually we all agree in that. But this is not going to be a problem for the company, and we're going to see later in the video why I'm saying this. But how big is the retail market? So if we take only into consideration the 6 biggest markets in the world, we can see that the market is worth $1.7 trillion. This includes the online market and the offline market. But if we take into consideration only the online market, it is worth $249 billion. So, but Etsy only specializes in items that are handmade, and this market is valued $100 billion. As of 2019, Etsy reported that they have a market share of 5%. So we can see that Etsy has a huge potential to continue growing. The market is actually pretty big, and they only have 5% of the market share. So they have a huge potential, and I'm pretty sure sometime they are going to increment the market share. It is going to help us a lot if we compare Etsy with Shopify, for example. Both companies went public in 2015, and like we said at the beginning, Etsy has 3.1 million sellers and Shopify has over 1 million sellers. So again, we see that amount of active sellers is high actually. But the total marketplace sales for the last 12 months for Shopify actually was way bigger than that of Etsy's, and the revenue for the last 12 months actually is not that big. It is only $1 billion bigger than that of Etsy. So it is very important to notice there that Etsy actually is making a lot of revenue over time, and the total compound annual revenue growth that the company has been having for the last 3 years is 31%. So it is something actually really good as well, because I like companies that have a huge annual growth over time, and we can say that the company it's been growing in average 31% for the last 3 years. The revenue again it's been growing over time as well. As of Q2 2020, the revenue growth was 137%, in part thanks to the fact that the demand of face masks incremented because of the situation that we know. And the net income of the company it's been $155 million, which is something normal because of the high demand of face masks. But it is also very important to say that the cash and marketable securities the company has is on $1 billion, but the debt is $803 million, so they can pay off the debt. So going a little bit through the fundamentals of the company, we can analyze that the revenue is being growing up over time consistently. Again, something that I like a lot because it helps me to create a better projection of the company in the future. So from 2012 to 2020, we can see a clear upward trend in the revenue of the company. Of course, like I said, due to the high demand of face masks, the revenue of the company soared in the second quarter, but this is something very particular. I hope that when this goes away sometime, then the revenue is going to be back to normal according to the behavior it had in the past 8 years. But the most important thing to mention here is that it is true that because of the demand of masks, the revenue of Etsy has soared in the last second quarter of the year, but also a lot of these people that were actually looking for masks, they also bought many other things that they found in the platform, and some of them may be even going back to the platform in the future to purchase more items. So like I said, they seized the opportunity, the fact that the demand was high, and a lot of these people actually will continue buying items of the platform because of the service this company offers. the ease of use the company offers to sellers and buyers as well. And this is actually something very good, and for the future the company is going to grow even more over time. So Etsy actually is been growing in revenue in terms of active sellers and active buyers. In comparison with Amazon, for example, the number of active sellers is actually pretty high. In terms of revenue comparison with Shopify, actually the revenue is actually pretty high as well. And another thing to mention that is very important is that recently the company was added to the S&P 500, which groups the best 500 companies in the US stock market. So if a company is admitted to this group, it's because they have had a consistent net income creation over time, something that Tesla actually doesn't have, and that's why it wasn't admitted to the group. It tells me a lot about the company because now it is among the 500 biggest companies in the market. The revenue is being consistent, the number of active sellers and buyers as well, and the categories of the platform are going up as well, as we saw early in the video. So if the company keeps doing businesses as they have been doing over these 8 years, for example, it's going to, for sure, the market share is going to increment over time. So this is what I have ready for all of you. If you like this company, I recommend you to do a bigger research on the internet to know more about the company, more about the fundamentals, and I'm pretty sure this is going to help you to reduce the potential risk in your investment. So if you like the content of the video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. And also, if you have comments, leave that comment in the comment section below. Thank you for watching and have a good one.